Hello everyone, Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review In the Land of Saints and Sinners. And this is a new period crime thriller coming your way from director Robert Lorenz, who has a long career of collaborating with Clint Eastwood and then making Clint Eastwood type films like The Marksman starring Liam Neeson. And they're back at it again here, but this time this focuses on the 1970s in Northern Ireland, and the film opens up with a bombing by the IRA, led by Kerry Condon's character, and winds up killing children in this bombing by accident. They go off in hiding into this secluded area of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and find this small town where you have a hitman hiding in plain sight, played by Liam Neeson, and when push comes to shove, he winds up trying to step away from his experiences and trying to live a good life, and then is pulled back in and has to confront this group of criminals. And you have this film, and what I'm really impressed by this film is how it's able to take the Western, all of its motifs and its tropes and elements, and plop it right into Northern Ireland in the 1970s and make it so authentic. It's a town away from everything else. It's like so many Westerns. And you have Liam Neeson, who's the gunslinger, who's trying to give up his life of crime, when he has this really impressive, there's a really impressive scene where he does a hit, and what this Mark has to say to him really hits him. And the way that Lorenz shoots this, where it's like focusing on Neeson, and Neeson's able to show so much in his acting. And that's what's so great about this film, is it's able to capture that Western vibe, and you see him getting pulled back in. This is very Shane-esque in terms of, hey, I'm trying to get away from this, but this injustice to innocent people pulls me back in. And what a combo of protagonist and antagonist between Neeson and Condon. And looking at this broadly, it is a gorgeous film, and cinematographer Tom Stern is able to capture the beauty of this place, the coast, the hills, the mountains. Just everything about it feels so quaint. The costuming, the cars, the production design, it all feels extremely authentic to this 1970s vibe. But what's most impressive to me is Diego, Lionel, and Nora Boudenweg, who compose this film, find the perfect balance between this Irish folk music and this harmonica-laden Western score, and how it all comes together in such an impactful way. This film deals with so many themes and motifs of these kinds of films. It's very Irish. It deals with religion and faith and community. It deals with the motifs of a Western, of like confronting death, confronting your bad acts and how they're going to come in some form of entity. And that's the impressive thing, is that both Neeson and Condon's characters, either side of this conflict, are brought together, and both are going through the same thing. Neeson haunted by all the dead bodies under trees that he's planted for all these years, and you have Condon, who is fighting so righteously for a free Ireland and believes that so deeply compared to her fellow IRA terrorists here, because they are like, we need to get out of here, we need to save our tails. And she's like, I'm not leaving Ireland. There's a passion, there is a sense of honor there, but it's the killing of innocence, those children that haunt her. And you have both of those elements, and Neeson gives one of the best performances he's given in a long time. It's ordinary love, it's silence, being able to have that kind of performance. This is much more The Grey than it is just like Taken or Nonstop. There's depth, there's soul to this film. Condon is so incredible. She scared me. I loved her in Banshees of Inisherin. I fell in love with her immediately as an actress. And here, there's something about her and how she just is a wrecking ball through it. And you have these interesting dynamics with Nave Cusack, who plays Rita, Neeson's neighbor, and there's where the heart is in Neeson's character. You see Jack Gleason, Joffrey, as this young hitman, and the dichotomy between him and Neeson's character, and how they're different, how they parallel. And you have Cole Meany and Kieran Hines, who both have their elements in here. Hines, in particular, as the Garda, he is the sheriff of this town, who's best friends with Neeson and has no idea what he does. And you get to see him have his moments throughout the film. There's great motifs of Neeson's character Finbar being a big reader, thanks to his deceased wife, and him reading Crime and Punishment and seeing those parallels and how that fits in with his relationship with Hines as Vincent. There's just so many great moments here. Sure, it leans into like some narrative beats and cliches that you would expect from an old Western and stuff like that. It gets very Irish in the third act, as goes down in a pub and ends in a church. You have those kinds of elements. And there's certainly a couple scenes where I feel like the script from Michael McNally and Terry Lone get a little too on the nose in terms of like spouting its poetic themes at you. But in the end, I think this is a really fantastic crime thriller, really works well, and has some great performances and incredible ensemble. This is what I want to see more of Liam Neeson doing, and it was such a wonderful breath of fresh air. But those are my thoughts on In the Land of Saints and Sinners. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.